Achievement results from work realizing ambition. Mental health needs a great deal of attention. It's the final taboo, and it needs to be faced and dealt with. I'm blind without my glasses. To me, style is consistency. Depression is something that doesn't just go away. It's just there and you deal with it. It's like malaria or something. Maybe it won't be cured, but you've got to take the medication you're prescribed, and you stay out of situations that are going to trigger it. I really knew I wanted to be Adam, because Adam was the first man. And I chose because, if there's a nuclear explosion, the ants will survive. I think what's going on with gorillas is pretty bad. The fact is that you can buy gorilla meat in London any day you want it. When I was on a major label, I felt obliged to say yes to every interview, tour, and whatever else. The label is always telling you, this ain't going to last, so I worked myself half to death. I learned from that, and I like to pace myself now. I like being infamous. I think it is safe being a cult. I just think, certainly for live music, it should look as good as it sounds. I want to do a makeup line for men. I have loved 8 women in my life. I remember every woman's face. I have suffered from depression for most of my life. It is an illness. People weren't buying as many records. My record company did not want me. I went through 3 record companies, went on tour at the wrong time. It destroyed me. I wanted to make good records, but my problem is I've got a low boredom threshold, so I wanted it to look and sound different with each album, which is really tantamount to suicide, 'cause people lose it. They lose it, they say, I like that, and that's not this. I became a man. Before that I was a little boy. Antidepressants are very good, but it's a clinical cosh, really. Sometimes you have to be knocked out, just to stop. When you're in that state, all you want to do is just sleep, and rest your body and your brain. I just became a vegetable for 3 months. I couldn't talk to people. I was very ill, and that was part of the reason I left college. I got a little house in East LA and did the gardening. I was doing some acting here and there, doing my own thing, getting back to reality. My daughter's the greatest thing that's happened to me in my life, and she turned me into a more responsible man, as opposed to just someone who's a perpetual teenager, thinking you're a man when you're not. I've been told I sold 110M albums and singles. If that's the case, I should have come here in a space rocket. Creative people are more prone to depression. When you work as hard as you can and as much as you can to make your first album, and you don't make any money, then you change things. I loved being in a band. The touring was crazy. It was a lot of work, but I enjoyed it. Men look like pandas when they try and put makeup on. If you make a mistake, you should enjoy it. Since the decline of record companies and music sales, I've always played live. It's good to play 100% live, no tricks, no samples, no messing about. Bipolar disorder, manic depression, depression, black dog, whatever you want to call it, is inherent in our society. It's a product of stress and, in my case, overwork. The brain isn't like the heart. They learned how to transplant a heart. The brain is more complex. I'm a punk rocker. I don't do Christian. I feel very grateful to be alive and well enough to make music. Prison's a walk in the park compared with being sectioned, mate, it really is. It may be a coincidence, but from the minute I took antidepressants, I didn't pick up a guitar or a pen for 7 years. I always like to tell a story. I am quite an early riser. I usually get up between 5:30 and 6 a.m. and take the dogs out. My daughter, Lily Caitlin, means the most to me in the world. Bad things happen sometimes. I'm a rock and roll singer. People tend to keep their distance.